posted on the corner. I'm posted on the corner.
Posted on the corner with yours truly, Incognito.
And DJ Mrs.
We have a father.
What?
A man of God.
A speaker.
A syndicated radio personality.
Motivator.
A artist.
Come on.
Willie Mo Jr. in the studio.
Hey! Listen, I waited for this moment all my life. I just want to thank my mama, for having me and allowing me to be on this show. The energy on this show is so crazy. Here's the thing. I go past, and it's only a few shows to be, and not that I'm like a radio god or nothing, but man, I like y'all's show.
For sure, we enjoy
that energy so dope. Oh my God, y'all got something so special. Y'all got something special.
Well, now we got Willie Mo Jr. on our radio.
Flat out.
Yeah. My mama love his song, right? I told my mama, I said, I'm glad he come on 3 to 7. I come on after boy.
Right.
You know I already know which way you going.
hey, shout out to moms, man. Shout out to moms.
For sure. Willie Mo Jr. is in the studio.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, man. Syndicated radio personality. Where do we begin, DJ Mrs.?
Well, first off, Willie Mo Jr., tell him who you are and what you do.
So Willie Mo Jr., I am Khalil, Peyton, Princeton, and Paisley's dad. Mm-hmm. So when I go to their school, they be like, it's Peyton's dad. I was like, I could be Peyton's dad, you know what I mean? But outside of that, of course, I'm a syndicated radio host. I'm a serial entrepreneur. Everywhere my hands are, everywhere my feet are, you won't see my hands. I work really, really hard in the background of a lot of different things that go on in business, music, and more. I used to be a dude named Pretty Willie. As you look at me now, the pretty's gone, but I'm holding on to handsome pretty good. Okay, let's just put that out there. The kids took all the pretty, and we just actually got our masters back to all of the Pretty Willie stuff.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it took me 20 years to get the masters back to that, and that acquisition just went through. So right now the old music is now back on iTunes.
Yes.
We got a lot of licensing deals that we're doing. I'm just thankful for my team. I got a really dope team too. Yeah. And of course, syndicated radio hosts, we touch about we're in 30 markets across the country. Yeah.
Across the country.
Yeah. And so we inspire people every single day. A lot of people think, it's a gospel show, but it's more inspiring. I'm a Christ follower of Jesus, but I'm kind of like entry level, if you would, because, you smack me, I ain't made it to the turn the other cheek part. You know what I'm saying? Like St. Louis still come out, but I just thank God that he's graced me enough to be myself. A lot of people in our industry, they have to put on one face and then they have to be something else later. I'm just so thankful that what you see is what you get, and God says he likes, all facets of who I am. I'm an onion. I got plenty layers, so I'm just thankful. Yeah, I'm just thankful. Right. Like, real talk.
You also been very open about your past and being adopted. Yeah. So tell us, how was that journey for you when you basically figuring out who is Willie Mo?
I was 7 years old when I found out I was adopted. Now I got an 8-year-old, and I'm looking at how impressionable my little 7 going into 8-year-old was, and I was like, dang, that was really, really tough because it wasn't like the movies for me. Like the movies, people sit you down and they say, hey, you're adopted. And they lied and they hug you and you cry. Like for me, I grew up in the neighborhood, so it was Berkeley, where the median income $17,000. So kids were making fun of me because they had heard their mothers and fathers say, Willie's parents are older because he's adopted. And I never knew. And so they were like, I don't mess with adopted kids. They were singing.
They made a song.
They made a whole song, and that thing was a bop. Guess what I did?
What?
I don't mess with adopted kids. And I'm like dancing too. And they was like, nah, Willie, we talking about you. And as foster children and adoptees, we know how to put on a face. We learn how to pretend fairly well. So I put on my face, but I came home and I cried and I asked my mom and dad, after telling them, hey, those kids across the street said I was adopted. And my mama, that was the first time I ever really seen her. She loved God, but she still cussed a little bit. She had a curl back then. I'm sure she went over there and cussed them out, came back and told me it was true.
Yeah.
And, but they did something that most parents don't have the humility to do. Because I asked my dad, was I a dog? Because that's the only thing I'd ever seen adopted. Wow. He was like, a dog? Hell no, you ain't no dog.
Yeah.
And he bent down and he looked me in my little eyes and he said, son, you chosen. These other kids across the world and in this neighborhood, it was a surprise for their family. But we saved our money. We got our stuff together and we chose you. So for the rest of your life, don't you ever think you a dog. You're chosen. And so when people see me walk in, in any room, I'm big because my daddy told me I was chosen. And so I go across the country to the other 423,000 kids who are in foster care, the other 123,000 kids who are available for adoption right now, and I make sure that the world know. Like, I let them know. Like, I bend down to their level and say, you chosen. And they go out and they win.
For sure. Willie Moe Jr. is here, posted on the corner with yours truly, Incognito and DJ Misses. Let's stay on the topic of being chosen. When it came to artistry, how did you know you had something in you that was a gift to the world, bro?
Man, I didn't even really know, for real. Okay, so I grew up in church. You know what I mean? Like, not like a lot of people who grew up in church. We went to church on Sunday. I went to a Baptist church. You know how some people be like, we was in church on Monday and then Tuesday.
I was like
Sunday. And I was like, no, we were just there Sunday. And that's all we ever did, for real. And my daddy didn't never go. He was just like, man, I ain't going in. I know the pastor. You know what I'm saying? He old school OG. Like, come on, man, I ain't never going. But I went because my auntie and like they put me in the choir. And I sung this song, He Keeps On Making a Way for Me. And the church went crazy, and I was just like, "Oh, I got me something here," you know what I mean? But on Monday, when I got back to the hood and we went back to school, I wasn't singing that. I started singing Jodeci, Forever My Lady.
Come on.
So I had a choice to make. Like, I can go and do this church thing when they going crazy, or I can, you know what I'm saying, go out there and do what the ladies like. And of course, I made the right choice. Yeah. I went with them ladies.
What age was this? Was this middle school, high school?
Yeah, so like I would probably say I'm like 8 when I was singing, but probably about 7th or 8th grade, I knew I wanted to, to pursue R&B. Yeah. So everybody else, of course, NWA came out, a lot of the West Coast rappers rapping, but I was like the hook singer. So we in the studio, they like, think I'm gonna kill and shoot. I'm in the back with the Glock, with the Glock, with the Glock, with the Glock. And they're like, oh, gangster, you know what I mean?
That's hard.
And so from then, I was the little singing guy, and ended up getting a record deal. I got a record deal while I was in college. So I ended up signing a $1.2 million deal with Universal. Like, Nelly was first, and then I'm 21 years old. And, we signed this crazy $1.2 million deal, and it was on ever since.
How did you come up with your artistry name, Pretty Willie? Where did that come from?
Because I pledged Kappa.
I was about to say, was it because you're a Kappa?
Yeah, because I had pledged Kappa, so Pretty Willie was like my line name, and I just ran with it. I was thinking now, like, man, what was I thinking? But it was my line name, and I was just trying to do something. It used to be Lil Will, because I used to have Lil Will. When I was singing in the hood, it was Lil Will. I had one of them tattoos when you had the Indian ink with just the ink. Yeah. I got my first one when I was 13. Yeah. Everybody was getting blood. Everywhere was getting blood and CK and Crip Killer. I was like, what you want, blood? I was like, just Lil Will for me. I don't know. I don't necessarily know if I'm going to be doing what y'all doing forever.
I know that's right.
Once they started shooting, I was like, I'm so glad I didn't get no tattoos, because I am not nobody blood at this time. Lil Wolf. That's all I got. Praise God. One L too, because it hurt. One L. No LL. Just one L because it hurt, because he was Indian.
You know what? That's good enough.
That's neighborhood. Like, that's just neighborhood. That's where I grew up.
Oh, wow, that's crazy. I'm not gonna hold you. I get a kick telling people that you was Pretty Willie.
Yeah.
And they be like, no, for real? Because when I do my R&B nights, I'm playing that good thing.
I want to come to one of them, too.
You got to. When I'm playing either the good thing or the lay your body down, I had tagged you. So many DJs was like, wait. I'm like, y'all didn't put it together. Y'all never was on YouTube watching the videos. I knew exactly who you was as soon as I seen you.
No doubt.
So with that being said, and you getting your masters back with your song, now you used to do it for the ladies.
Already.
Do you feel any pressure on promoting your music now, since, you're in the lane that you're in right now? Do you feel any pressure promoting that?
I think I did for probably about 48 hours. You know what I mean? Because I was thinking about myself. And I remember praying, because I get up about 5 every morning. And I remember praying. I was just like, God, well, we've now obtained this. And I'm not going to be ashamed of where I came from. But I don't want to compromise the platform that you gave me.
Right.
And then he put a highlight, I gave you. Right? And so if I continue to think about who I am and what I did, then I negate the fact that he gave it to me. Now, I'm going to steward it correctly. You definitely not going to see me outside just gyrating and putting myself in a compromising position, but that's a part of my life. So I think people will be more prone and interested in a story if it's coming from somebody that I don't have to pretend that I was in the street. I don't have to pretend that I was in the club. I don't have to pretend that it was 200 women in the hotel room and all was going to go. Like, just being honest with you. I don't have to pretend that. And I can say, yo, I did all of this, but that was one chapter of my life, right? But I was able to turn the page and get so many other chapters, and I'm continuously learning. It's two things that I've learned now with these masters, right? Like, any opportunity can be your tombstone or your stepping stone, right? And so what I realize now is that the Pretty Willie brand was a stepping stone to something else. It wasn't my tombstone. So if it didn't kill me then, it definitely can't kill me now.
Come on.
So what we're going to do, we're going to go out. We have this new series. It's called Love You More. And what you're going to get an opportunity to do is really see and share the journey. George Wallace is in it. Jamal Bryant's in it. Jasmine Burke is in it. There's so many celebrities that's in this story. And it's music told through almost like a Trapped in the Closet series, if you will.
Right, okay.
Right? So you're gonna see the Pretty Willie stuff. The scene where we bring in the whole Pretty Willie stuff to lay your body down, 4 walls, good thing, is like I just leave a funeral and they said, Willie, get home. And I'm just like, oh, what happened? It's like the kids, and it's doom, 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 doom. Then next episode, the kids on YouTube and they'll find Pretty Willie. And they like, Daddy, what happened? So we go back into St. Louis and we in the strip clubs, and I'm talking to my older boys, sharing what Daddy used to be. So it's a really unique way to do it, and our bigger goal is to sell out Fox Theaters to tell this story and be able to share. Like for people like DJ Mrs., like she was a kid when we was doing this, so it would be like tough for her to see me in that light and know that's what they was doing, what they was doing to her, and know that I was doing what I was doing, and not give her the blueprint on how I was able to like have a baby mama, have a child at 21 years old, 22 years old. And now we got this kid here in college, and I stay over her house with her husband when I'm in their city. Like, there's some things that the Lord has taught me that I believe that this generation and, you know, my hip-hop cats understand, like, damn, it gotta be something different out here. Like, that's why everybody blowing something and smoking something, because, like, damn, it gotta be something more. Like, niggas feel stuck. And I feel like I got the message and the background, because I'm just tired of talking to the same people. I'm not recycling people all the time. I got to go back and talk to my people. Like God did that in the Bible with Moses. He said, okay, you got this beautiful life, but you got to go over there and speak to them. And this don't make no sense to me. Like this stupid to me. Like I can go stand on any church podium and make my money, live my life and do all that. But God is like tugging me to say, no, you got to go back. Like, don't forget your people, man. Like, don't forget. So I've lost a lot of team members since I've come up, since the Lord gave me this vision. They was like, this don't really match what I think it is. But as I said, it's either a tombstone or a stepping stone. So we're going to step on.
Period.
Young, fly, and save.
Come on.
Willie Moe Jr. is here, posted on the corner with yours truly, Incognito and DJ Mrs. What's your favorite gospel song of all time?
Man, favorite gospel song of all time is so many, but I would probably say it is a record that my mama used to play by Mahalia Jackson. And I can't even think of the one it was. But I wish I could bring it up right now. But she used to play it every time. I was like, I hate this song. But I remember, like, now that I'm older, I realized that my mama was going through financial trouble. Her husband was working 2 jobs. She got me the most. I'm energetic. You know, I'm adopted. She older, and she got this kid. And it was Precious Lord, take my hand, lead me on. Like, help me stand, because I'm tired. Like, when I listened to it, I realized that she was working as a housekeeper. I realized that, you know, she was 41 years old when they adopted me, which means I'm a baby at 41. And 41 ain't like it is now. Everybody got this energy now because they can compare. 41, you was grown. My daddy 51. And I just remember her, whenever I hear Mahalia Jackson sing that rendition of a song, it was on a tape. And when I hear that song, I think about mama.
Man, I see you have your documentary.
Yeah.
You have your speaking engagements.
Yeah.
You're doing philanthropy. What motivates you to keep going, bro?
I would probably say the thing that motivates me the most is I'm running from poverty. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just now, I think, finally getting strong enough to do it for the love. Like, people like, man, you work so hard. Every time I see you, you out and you doing it, this, that, another. And I had to reassess myself, you know, and just really be honest. Like, you know, when you come from nothing, you know, and when I say nothing, I mean, y'all can probably attest to the fact that there ain't that many opportunities, like being from St. Louis. Like, I could have easily been locked up or in jail with the company that I was keeping. And so when you finally go over $100,000, $250,000, and you start moving and moving and moving, you like, I don't want to lose it. I don't want to lose it. Even as a Christian, with all the faith that I have, like I'm still running from poverty. Like I'm not gonna lose. Like I'm gonna win. Like I just stack and I start going and going and going. But I'm learning now through therapy, like because I go to therapy, is that I'm supposed to be receiving and not hustling. But when you grow up in the street, you get it how you live and you go get it. But as a kingdom person, we're royalty, so we're supposed to be attracting and receiving as kings. But man, I think what motivates me the most is when I look at my little 4-year-old girl in the eye, like I'm just like, I'm not gonna let her fail. She gonna go to the best schools. You know, she not gonna be wooed out by some guy with a nice chain on. Like I'm gonna be the man of her dreams until she meets the man of her dreams.
Period.
Yeah.
So tell us about the Will Flow Foundation and the More Mentorship.
Will Flow Foundation, we create educational content centered around adoption. You know, we're going to have a Super Bowl commercial one day.
Come on now.
You know what I'm saying? Like we, to put adoptees and foster care children, put them on. We do this thing called the Day of the A, where we really, really push the adoption message during my birthday month, December. And, just bring a lot of the adoptees and foster care children that we service. Initially, I wasn't going to like put it all out there like that because I worked in this space for the last 15 years. But I think in the last 5 years, I've become more vocal. Like I've sat in Senate and lobbied for, adoption laws. We lobby for the changing of adoption laws in the state of Missouri. So, so we do a lot with the foster care system. We work with the DFACS of Georgia. We work with the #1 Christian adoption agency in the world, Bethany. We just help change the narrative of what adoption and foster care look like. I'm like, they like, oh, them the bad kids. I'm like, well, your kids bad as hell too.
Right.
I mean, look
Okay,
like,
come
you know
on
what I'm
now,
saying?
talk
We can
about
just
it.
be honest. And I just think if you have the heart posture to love covers a multitude of sins. So if you can love a child like my parents did me, they can be something. So I go out there and do that. And More Mentorship, my oldest son, he's 20 years old. He's on the Dean's List at the University of Mississippi.
Come on.
Yeah. He is the CEO of that arm, and we got about 300 young boys that we mentor every single Tuesday. I just pop in. He is the brainiac of all that. I just have a platform, so I'm just watching him grow.
So how can the young men get in touch with him, and how can they become a part of that?
Man, it's real easy. Morementorship.com, MOORE, mentorship.com, or just text us 314-470-8514, 314-470-8514. If you got a young man ages 12 to 18, here's the thing. We're not saying that in one Tuesday it's going to change the trajectory of his life. We don't believe change comes in one event. It happens over time. So if you keep him in the mentorship program, we've had Dr. Eric Thomas, Jeremy Anderson, NBA stars, what's the Celtic boy name? Justin Tatum. Justin Tatum is his daddy, so his daddy was on there. And I just bring in all my celebrity friends as well as people who have influence, but their foundational principles are God, family, and business. So I'm always bringing people in, man, just to show these guys you can be in the army, you can do this. Because when you're in the hood, you don't really know. You're like, I'm finna rap or play ball or sell this dope. You know what I mean? So I'm just introducing them to new avenues to make money and sustain their families.
That's dope. So what you being a man of many hats,
Yeah.
figuratively and literally.
Yeah.
How do you protect your peace?
I didn't do it for a long time, DJ Mrs. I'm gonna be honest with you. Because I was adopted, I was a pleaser. You know what I mean? Like I put everybody before me. Like to be honest, like even if I was so the other side of the pillow when I get angry, that I would be over nice so I don't ever have to be the person that I bury. You know what I mean? Because there was a time that I had a few anger issues, so I'd rather just be nice. Because what they talk about, like, I'll actually do. You know what I mean? I'm like, wait a minute. So here's the thing. And I can look people in the eyes and I know your pedigree. Like where I come from, I had to size you up. I was the little guy. I was the first one to get picked off. So I can look at a person pedigree, rapper, singer, actor. I'd be like, man, come on, man. You ain't really about that. Leave that alone. You know what I mean? So for me, I just became over pleasing. Didn't want to speak up for myself. And then, once I became an entrepreneur, I realized that I had to set some unique borders. I'll be honest, I'm still getting that right. My therapist tell me I have to bloom where I'm planted. I got to enjoy the moment where I am. Like, I don't know if y'all seen, but before we even started this, I just said a prayer, and in that prayer I said, Lord, let me be where I'm planted right now, because there's so much going on. So my brain don't never stop moving. So I got to do better. I do like massages. I traded my S550 Benz and got a Jeep. Because I'm like a country black dude. You know what I'm saying? I wear overalls.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? I'm usually like the only black guy at some of the concerts I like. Like I like Amy Grant. Because I had MTV. I was one of the few kids in the neighborhood who had cable. So I wouldn't seen her last week. That's why I was on my way when I seen you. I was going up to Chattanooga because I was going to sneak up into a little concert.
Yeah.
Only black dude in there. And I'm just kind of learning what I like because I just used to like work. And I still like work. They're like, what you do? I'm like, I work. Like, why you not working? You know what I mean? Because I was running from poverty, but I'm trying to get this new mindset, and I just don't have it right. You know, all I seen my dad. He was an ex sharecropper. To this day, he worked for Home Depot. Been retired twice. All I seen my dad do was work. You know, 16 hours a day. Like that's just how he worked. So I work before now, like about 16 hours a day too. You know, I be out working these little young boys on my team.
I know that's right.
They be like, man, how did we wake up again?
Yeah.
We just went to bed at 3. That man right back up at 5. You know?
In the gym.
Come on,
And I'm
dog.
like, let's go. You finna go to the gym? Like, yeah. And then, of course, I don't really have the habits that a lot of people got either. So I that's another thing that I got, you know, so.
The advantage, man.
Yeah.
Take me back to your very first studio session, bro. What was that like?
Man, Jason Morton, love him to life. He was the leader of the group. So if you ever see this, he locked up right now. I love you, bro. If you watching on the internet, Jason Martin, I know he probably going crazy in the pod right now if he seen this. You know, because cats got YouTube and other stuff in there now. But Jason brought me into music. I was always the singing guy. And we was like, man, if we could just get in the studio. We're like 12 years old, made the song by Martin Luther King. So we could say it on the intercom at the elementary school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like finessing. But I'm like, man, we need to record it. Because, you know, Crisscross and them was out. And then ABC came. I was like, man, we going to be better than them. So we just automatically created beef with them. Like, we don't even know these guys. We just mad. I'm like, you know we got beef with Crisscross for what? I don't know. We just got beef with him. That's what you're supposed to do is hip-hop.
Right.
So I remember this dude named Stevie Blast. He had a... Jason called and said, they got a studio. I was like, you got a studio where? He's like, right up there by the police station, right there on Madison. I was like, well, we gonna ride our bikes over there. He's like, I done been there twice. I was like, yeah, whatever. He pulled out a tape. That boy slapped it in there. It was his voice on the tape. Whole neighborhood was like, oh my God, y'all know Jason got a record deal. To not be outdone, I was like, bro, you gotta take me. That's when you used to have to record your record, the entire record. Ain't no punching and nothing like that. They got a reel to reel. And man, I did it. I think I was 11 when I first did it. I was with a group called the Baby Gangsters. We ended up signing with French Jam Records, a local record company there. It was really like all amazing dope boys. When I say dope boys, they weren't just dope boys to just be out there dope boying and trying to show out. Like, they really taught us some different type of morals, like how to take care of your family. This just happened to be the job of choice because they all had felonies. And so, I'm like 12 years old. I've been in every club in St. Louis. Like, so like for me, clubs, they were like, man, you want to go to the club? I've been in the club since I was 12 years old. And I say that unapologetically. So, once we signed with them, it was on and popping. So we was really against Crisscross then and never met Crisscross. Them boys way in Atlanta making millions of dollars. We made like $500 in the talent show, though.
Yeah.
That was a lot of money,
No,
though.
that was
What? All ones? I'm like, bro, we out here. Yeah. Shout out to Fila. I love you, man, if you ever watch this, love.
That's dope. So what advice do you have for the people out there that want to get in your lane one day but don't really know how to do it?
So I got a lot of different lanes, but I would say I do it in 3 different pods. So God, family, and business. That's the way I roll. So with my relationship with God, I realized that he loved me. All of me.
Yeah.
Like so many times I think religion has taught us that if we don't get it right and if we're not perfect, oh, well, God can't work with that, and it becomes more of a retirement plan. Like, I'm going to get there when I get there. You know what I'm saying? At least I know that's how I was. I was like, I ain't finna be no hypocrite, so I'm not going to really rock with this, until I'm really serious about it. But God just wanted a real relationship with us. And so once I learned that God really wanted a relationship with me, I'm like, anybody that you're in a relationship with, you really kind of want to know all facets of them. Like, you want to know how you react when you're mad, you're sad, or what have you. So I started giving God my all. I surrendered myself. Man, he just give me wisdom on what to do, what door not to go into, what opportunities should I take. So I'm really kind of leaning on him. So I would say, number 1, get a great relationship with God. Number 2, with family, I would say family is just so important. And some of us come from some toxic families. But just because we come from a toxic family, you can be that one. Like, I'm the one. Like, I'm the one who's going to break the poverty line that came through this family lineage. I'm not going to be a womanizer. I'm not going to be out here drunk all the time. And, like, I'm the one. Like, every family has that one. Like, I bet your mom, because you that one. Like, it's like, you know, DJ Miss, you know she on the radio down there in Atlanta. Like, your mama, she love you, like, at the end of the day, because you that one. Like, somebody has to be the one in the family. And so if anybody really wants to know my mindset, when it comes to my family, I'm like, I'm that one. So when I'm dead and gone, they gonna have a black and white picture or a color picture with my big old hat on and be like, he the one who changed everything. Like, I'm gonna be the one. And when it come to business, man, you gotta know what you want. You gotta have a vision and don't be afraid to fail. Like, I've learned more from my failures than I've ever done in any success that I've ever obtained. Like, Pretty Willie, to be honest, when I signed at 1.2 with Universal, Nelly sold 30 million records. I sold 30. Total. That was it. You feel me? But I became a relentless entrepreneur. They had this little thing called MySpace. We started working MySpace. 25 million hits on there. I went to Warner Brothers with a lawyer that I just picked up off the street, Jock Shirley. I heard he was good, but I just needed law because I knew they wouldn't listen to me. I sat down with Tom Wiley and wrote down $250,000 and was just like, no, I wrote a whole $500,000. I said, here it is. And he ended up giving a quarter, $50,000 that day. Like, you can't be afraid to dream in your head and make it come into a reality. And I don't mind shifting lanes. Like, everybody want to stay in the same lane. I'll be like, okay, he graced me in that season. I'm not trying to praise God for what he was doing last season. I'm interested in knowing what he doing next.
Right.
So I'm always like, oh, this don't feel like this the thing no more. But I'm not afraid to go. And last but not least, I'm not afraid to do it for free. Like, everybody want to get the bag too quick. You ain't even got an accountant, champ. For real. You ain't even got a financial plan. You don't want these problems. Come on, ADP. With my payroll company, every month I'm pissed for the taxes they taking out of there. I'm like, you gonna charge me taxes because I'm trying to pay my employees? This is ludicrous. But I realized that I was built for it. He matured me every little bit. So don't try to rush into something that you don't necessarily understand. Business is different than a hustle. Like, you got to structure it differently. You got to be systematic. So I live under the God family business principle. I don't always get it right. You know, sometimes I got to fire people. That's the worst part in the world, like to leave people that you've been with for a long time. But I'm learning how to do that quickly too. You know, like, I'm learning how to do that quickly. I'm like, this the new vision. You don't really fit the new vision. So you gotta go. Ain't no hard, and you still gonna be invited to the barbecue.
Period.
Because I love you as a person. It's just your skill set don't necessarily match the vision anymore. And you got to be relentless with that. Like, even with the companies that you choose to partner with. And I say this unapologetically. I don't have a job. I got an opportunity. Like, the moment that I think it's a job, I'm out of here. Because God didn't call me to a job. He called me to opportunities. So if it don't feel like an opportunity, I structured it business-wise as an opportunity. I don't get no W-2s. You know what I'm saying? Like, I structured it as a business. So this is my opportunity, so I treat it as such. And so, you know, I would ask anybody who want to do what I got to do, make sure you get opportunities and not jobs.
There's a huge difference between car wreck attorneys and truck wreck attorneys. You can be a great car wreck attorney, but I bet you don't know anything about the trucking rules and regulations. Get the real experts at 1-800-TRUCK-WRECK. Expertise matters.
Come on, partnerships and finance. Willie Moe Jr. is here, posted on the corner with yours truly, Incognito and DJ Mrs. I heard you talk about going to that studio and your partner put it on a tape.
It's a tape.
All right, so I call that, in my mind, the analog world, right? You know what I'm saying? It was analog. Now we're in this automatic world.
Yeah.
How were you able to adapt from that type of car where we used to have to be who we say we were, put in the work? Now you can go on social media on the phone with a Wi-Fi.
You can be whoever you want to be.
I'm him.
Yeah.
How do you adapt to that change?
You know what? I'm not going to ever be the older guy who says, oh, man, I wish y'all knew what it's like to have the pass out flyers and have a mixtape, $5 at the gas station, $10 for the person that, like, we was moving it like it was dope. I print the CD for like $3, and I'm like, hey, just bring me back $3, and then you take, you know, whatever. I love this world, man. I love what we got. The Bible says that greater works will be done. I used to think as a kid, like, how would we see Jesus if he came in, like, Tacoma or Cleveland? Like, how would we see him? But God knew about an internet that would be able to share things virally. So I realized that you can get your messaging out so much quicker. But when it comes to people pretending to be something, like, you got to live with that. You know, like you gotta live with that. Like I ain't never want to have to live with like some fraudulent activity. Don't get me wrong, because I wanted to be the Cosby Show before I got a divorce. Like, even if it was tough, I would put a picture out there because I wanted to live up to the picture. Like, I would put my family out there because I didn't want no ladies talking to me because I knew how vulnerable I was at that particular time. So even then, I wasn't being fake. My motive was pure. Like, if I can put my family out there, it'll keep these scandalous ladies away from me. And I can keep building what I think I want to build. So it's got to be hard pretending. Like, I just couldn't even imagine. Yeah. But here's the thing, the way I look at social media. Like, I just need a faithful few of them. You can have your few. That's why I can be, like, when I go past here, I'm like, incognito, DJ Mrs. They the best, the energy. Like, and y'all can feel the genuineness in it because it's enough out here for all of us. So even, like, the Lord gave me something for Incog, I was like, man, you need to be having a doop. That man showed me the graphic. I'm like, that's how I know we on one accord. But what if, but you might have been questioning, like, oh, should I do that? But that's like confirmation. But what if I would have been in competition with you? I wouldn't have gave you the so you can pull the trigger. Like, I know I'm finna pull the trigger now. So when I look at this beautiful world that we live in, I think it's enough room out here for everybody to be themselves. Like, find yourself before you start, because that's when you gotta, you know, cats be jumping off of bridges, slitting their wrists, having social anxieties or whatever. Like, bro, like, just be yourself. God love him too. It took me this long to know God loved the Willie who might have had too much to drink on Thursday. God loved the Willie who, like, if you pulled up in traffic, you did the wrong thing, and I blurted out something that was really, really crazy. God loved the Willie who had to bite his tongue today on a business call because I wanted to come over through that phone like, ain't no way you talking to me like this. Oh, my God. But God loved all them. He loved the dude who pray for you. He loved the guy who prophesy. He loved the guy who has an encouraging word. He loves my smile. When I think about this beautiful God that we have, it's like, man, you ain't even really got to pretend because it's a market for all of it.
Come on now.
It's a market for all of it. This a female DJ. She could have been just doing anything. Like, I'm just do what the females do. Like, this is an anomaly. It's like she chose to do what she doing it how she doing. Like, I don't see her on there with no pistols and I'm finna do these hard ass looking women. Don't nobody wants this. She's still feminine. When she can really go out there and just be like them, but why not be like you? I ain't changed my voice up when I'm on there. Like, I might not say my ass or my damn. I got my limited amount of curse words that I choose to use. I might not put it on that platform, but they know what it is with me. When they see me in the street, they just like, bruh, you don't know how many rappers that everybody love being my Instagram in the DM. Like, hey, bro, pray for me. I feel like I can actually talk to you. You know, I'll never put their name out, but it's like list of people who smiling on Instagram who having suicidal thoughts. And I'm like, bro, why don't you talk about this? You know, shout out to my brother Lil Scrappy, man. He finally did it. But he talking about not suicidal thoughts, but he did a mental health thing this week. I was so proud of him. Hugged his neck. Like, talked about what he going through with divorce and how it's mentally affecting him. He was real transparent. I said, how that feel? Like, man, that been like a load off. I'm like, yeah, keep letting the load off. And God gonna use that. You know what I'm saying?
1000%.
Yeah, so love.
That's what's up. So, you know the ladies still love you.
Come on, I love them too.
Come on. So how is it being a single black family man and dating and still trying to find your one if you still trying to find your one?
Ain't dating at all.
Really?
Ain't dating at all. Like, I have these beautiful children right now. I'm locked in. I have never had this much time on my hand. I do have a purpose partner. We connect in purpose. So if I need female energy, like, it's solely for her. You know
explain a purpose partner to me. I like how that sounds.
You know, essentially, like, you know, she's in the adoption space. She encourages me. I encourage her. But we understand, like, you know, right now it's just a very unique time for us. Like, it's really no real big expectation, but just to, like, hey, we want our goals, dreams, and aspirations together, like, to go where they need to go. Like, whether y'all know, like, y'all are purpose partners. Like, y'all got a purpose together in the earth that, you know, it's not sexual, it's not all the other stuff, but y'all got something that y'all got to do together. Like, God has always sent people out 2 by 2. It just so happened that, you know, my purpose partner is a female and, you know, your purpose partner happened to be a female too in this season. So I just believe, you know, that's the energy that I need right now. But I would be a terrible boyfriend.
You hella busy.
Like, no, I mean hella busy. But then you gonna think like I'm super duper into you because I only know how to be like a husband. Like, I'm gonna open the door. I'm gonna take care of meals. I'm gonna treat you like a queen because that's what I know how to do. And then my daddy, 92, he would be appalled if I don't treat a woman like a woman. Like, it's an unfair advantage for a guy who grew up with a person who taught you chivalry. So, like, I've fallen short because of being so nice. Like, my girl Crystal Lee back in the day, she was like, you got like 5 wives at the radio station. I was like, 5 wives? No, I don't. She was like, yeah, because you just smile and you just nice and it don't feel like you want something from somebody. Like, we married. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I ain't doing nothing, no dates or nothing. So, you know, we'll see how it goes.
Right.
Like, we'll see how it goes. Right now, it's just God family business. Yeah, I'm flowing.
I typically ask people that we interview if they had a superpower, what would it be? But I'm going to ask you, bro, what's your favorite Bible verse?
Proverbs 15:1, a gentle answer turns away wrath. Like, that's what I lean on so much because where I come from, there is nothing gentle about St. Louis. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what God has shown me, that a gentle answer turns away wrath. It may not necessarily come when I want the gentleness to come back, but I used to be the type of guy that I would muster the energy to confront you with respect and love. And if you didn't respond the way I wanted you to respond, other side of the pillar. Now, well, man, I tried to come to you humble, and now you want to go, you ain't even about this, and I done went left, and he done went left, now it's all type of stuff.
Right.
I don't know if he necessarily want to go there, but I am content on going all the way to the other side. I'm serious. Like, I'm so content, and you can feel it through these cameras. I'll be content to go to the other side, but the Lord has been so gracious to like, let me practice that scripture so much, and nobody came back, that now that if I'm gentle and then somebody does, like, I'm so used to being gentle, I'm just like, man, don't bother me because my daddy gonna get you. Like, I ain't even got to fight you like that. I've seen him time and time again protect me from things that I thought I had to fight. But once I took my hand off of it, he's like, okay, now you trust me. So people got beef, want to be, I'm like, man, they like, hey, what we gonna say? What we gonna do? I was like, we ain't gonna do nothing. We're going to let God fight this one. Well, God ain't coming fast enough. Well, then a year later, you know, somebody will go to jail, and they'll think I done something. I'm like, I promise I ain't had nothing
God's
to do with
timing
that.
is always
you know,
right.
God going to do what he got to do.
God's timing is always right, period.
So yeah, Proverbs 15:1, I would tell everybody to just, if you have kind of a entrepreneurial aggressive sometime and, you know, could pop off at any time, just remember that a gentle answer will turn away the wrath of people. It's, you know, it's hard to keep arguing with somebody that you're praying for. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to stay mad at somebody you're praying for. So I pray for my enemies more than I pray for my friends.
Come on now.
Yeah.
So if you could go back in time and give young Willie any advice, what would you give him?
I would tell him he's enough. Well, I would tell him that he doesn't have to fight so hard to be somebody. I would tell young Willie that he's smart, that he's intelligent, that he's loved, that he's cared for. And I would also tell young Willie, not to fight to retire your parents so quickly because work is all they knew how to do. I would tell young Willie that you didn't have to buy them a mansion. They just wanted their house paid off, you know, because I had all these dreams of what I wanted to do. I would tell Willie maybe not to get married so early, you know, and then I would tell young Willie also not to force people to live in your little box. Because you're such a visionary that everybody has to kind of lock into the vision, but people have their own lives, and it's okay to serve other people too. Yeah.
Being adopted, did you grow up an only child?
I did.
For sure.
Hella
That's my
spoiled.
lifestyle too.
Hella spoiled. Are you the only child? See, that's why we get like I'm like, yeah, I see it, because I had to play like imagination friends. I had no brothers or nothing.
Sure.
I had the neighborhood guys.
I was the baby, so
Oh
I
my
damn
God.
near was the only child. Too many
Yeah.
imaginary friends. My
Yeah.
siblings in their 40s.
Yeah, like they grown.
Like, they weren't trying to fool with me.
I lean
Yeah.
on my cousins, y'all.
Yeah, that's it.
In closing, Willie Moore Jr., what's your favorite Ratchet song, bro?
My favorite Ratchet song, anything from Moneybagg Yo right now. I'm just be honest with you. Moneybagg done got me through a mini day. You know, I have these spurts. I play songs. If I find a good song, I'm going to play it at least 120
Same.
times. I'm just going to wear it out.
Me too.
And then I'm
Same.
on to the next one. Right now, it's weird, though. Like, I'm on country music right now. So it's this kid named Morgan Wallen.
I'm here.
Like, Morgan Wallen is, like, crazy. Like, he I don't know why I've been on him. I'm probably going to be on him next week because I've been playing him over and over.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of on that country right now. And then I was just on this other rapper. I forgot this kid name, but he dope. So my son, he 14. So, you know, they got Spody. So, you know, they got new rappers every 2 days. So I try to get into his culture instead of like trying to, so he ain't got to sneak and do all that other stuff. I'm like, let me hear the content or whatever. I'm like, nah, I don't really feel that one that much. Do you understand what he's saying? And so I'm going to give him the game. Like, you don't have to get some faulty information for someone else. A lot of Christians, they just like, oh, well, he shouldn't be listening to that. I was just like, yeah, I was sneaking listening to Tupac. I had total freedom. So, you know, I didn't want nobody like, don't listen to this. So, you know, I'm enjoying all the new artists. I love Travis Scott. Like, I think he really, really dope. A lot of Christians don't like him. Like, oh, this is the devil. I'm like, I like the melody. I'm an artist.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I like all genres of music except for heavy metal. I don't really rock heavy metal like that. It's kind of weird to me. You know, it's just for me. Yeah. But, yeah, I like all the new artists right now. But Moneybagg, yo, you know, my son, he lived in Memphis. So, you know, I just looked at my watch. I got time today. You know
Okay,
Come on
You know
now.
what I'm saying? It's like one of my favorite gym records. What's pop? Like, who hot right now?
Shoot, little baby.
Oh, anything, little baby. Cause he about that. He from our pedigree.
Yeah.
He want an eye baby.
Yeah.
So when I see little baby, I'm like,
He got the right memo.
He want an eye babies. He move how he supposed to move.
Yeah,
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
But it's a lot of females that's taking over. But I'm gonna say Glorilla.
Yep.
Gloria Hallelujah Woods.
She hard.
That's her name.
Yep.
She's a gospel artist. I promise she would.
Yep.
Her
Big
mama-
Lotto.
That's why I love Tomorrow.
Yep.
Come on now.
Yeah,
Might not
she-
shine today.
Yeah, she's solid though. Like she just got a lot of favor on her life. I can't wait to really meet her just because I know that the Lord gonna have a dope word for her in the way that she can receive it though. You know what I mean? Like I see the pull, I see the struggle. Like I was that same artist though. So I'm out, you got Nelly and you got all these people and like I'm looking around like, so I would just be extra hard to fight the calling that was on my life. You know what I mean? And I would try to stay high just to, like I couldn't even sing Lay Your Body Down no more at one time.
Really?
Cause I was just like, this ain't what I'm supposed to be doing. Like when Lay Your Body Down come on, everybody screaming. Like literally they'll be like, he really into it. But I would just close my eyes just cause I just had to do it. Cause they had spent 20 grand for me to come. You know?
Right.
So I'm just singing. They like, boy, he into
Boy,
it. I'm like,
that boy
I'm just like,
singing.
I'm like, no, I just don't want to see nobody. Cause I'm so different.
Cut
So
up.
yeah, so I see the struggle that some of the artists go through, and a lot of them that's why they be on drugs. Cause I remember when I had that crossroad where it's like, God want me to do this, but my deal want me to do this, and I was married at the time, so I would have to get drunk and high to even go in there and make those sexual type of records, cause I wasn't having a whole bunch of sex. I was just with her. You know what I'm saying? So I made real records. So. But I can't wait to meet some of these artists. I'm coming to birthday bash too.
Come on.
Yes, I ain't seen you at. I ain't missed you at once. Since we've been here.
Come on
See
now.
everyone. He opened it up.
Yeah, I'm coming. Like I'm gonna pray for and no violence.
No violence.
Ain't no violence popping. We pray like I have my team praying over birthday bash 30 days before it start.
Yes, sir.
That it'll be the best opportunity for us to go out and then to show the world that hip hop ain't just violence, bro.
Yes, sir.
I come from that culture and we don't want to fight, but if we gotta go there, we
It
gonna go there. So the
will.
prayer's like, hopefully just don't nobody want to go there, Lord.
Right.
Like just bring peace in.
Come
So,
on now.
Yeah, man, I love it. And I love y'all, man. #1 show ever. I love it.
Man, perfect segue, because I tell y'all, some of y'all might not have known. When I first moved to Cleveland, Ohio in 2015, to get to the kitchen area, we used to have to pass by the Praise Studio. So I used to hear you on air, flat out. So now I go in the studio sometimes, and up on the wall, they had your one sheet, and they had all this other stuff. So I was like, dang, one sheet? What's a one sheet?
Yeah.
I don't have a one sheet. So I took Willie Moe Jr. one sheet, right? Go what I
Yeah.
did. Send it to my graphic designer. I said,
Make
"You
me
see what
one
he
of
did?
these.
Do this and do it on the hip hop side. When the interview over with, I'm gonna show it exactly to you, bro. I used your blueprint
Wow.
to create my one sheet when I was in Cleveland. So I used some of your previous works, bro, to lay the foundation to get here to where we at now, which is
Wow.
now syndication, dog.
Man, come on,
Yeah.
bro. That just mean the world to me, man. That mean the world to me, because Lord knows, man, I just be thinking of stuff.
Yeah.
And any idea, like the worst thing I could tell my team, and the best thing, because I know they be talking about me, I be like, hey, what? I got an idea. They be like, shoot. This nigga finna put up the work. It's up. I'm like, hey, it's about to happen. This is what we about to do.
This how it be
It
with
ain't never
him,
been
look.
done. and then my graphic designer, he got to be on it, because I got to get it out there so I can. Because if I can see it, it can happen. Because I got to put it on the wall so every morning I can just look at it like, okay, don't get off of that.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
it's
what's going
popping.
on.
Yeah, it's just visionary stuff, man. Like, and that's what I see in you guys. And I'm not even being misogynistic. It's some shows are just shows, and then there's some shows that are movements. I think you guys got a dope movement.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate
That's
that.
so
Appreciate
tight.
Missus. We got a new alumni.
Woo, woo, woo.
I made it.
Willie
Let me
Mo
tell you.
Jr.
Make sure y'all go stream that music.
Hey, please
Period.
do. And I got a new song coming out as well on Urban AC.
Come on.
Yeah, it's coming soon. It features some really cool people.